This week on Culture Q,
we get to know Victoria's Secret's first Black trans model.
An interview with the hilarious Alec Mapa.
And How I Met Your Father's Tien talks on-screen representation.
What is going on? It is Lalwani here.
And I'm Shira Lazar. This is Culture Q.
And here's some of the top highlights this week in queer culture.
We are just over a week into Black History Month, so it's only appropriate that we take the time to celebrate some recent history. TikTok star Amira Despain became Victoria's Secret's first Black trans model. Just in time for Valentine's Day, the TikToker known as XOXO Amira partnered with Victoria's Secret, wearing the brand's classic red lingerie, giving tips on how to have the perfect solo V-Day.
And of course you've got to curl your hair to feel like an absolute baddie. P.S. This robe from Victoria's Secret is so cute.
The model took to Instagram to open up about how much this collaboration meant to her and gave a shout out to the company's first trans model, Valentina Sampaio, along the way, saying, "As a kid, I only dreamed of being a part of Victoria's Secret. And Valentina Sampaio paved the way, and it's such an honor to continue that legacy on the first day of Black History Month." And in an interview with USA Today, she elaborated on the significance of her success, saying, "I want to empower young trans women and men to show them that the beauty and fashion industries are changing, especially if you are a person of color." Despain has partnered with some seriously huge brands in the past, like Google, Anastasia Beverly Hills, and Rihanna's Fenty Skin. Okay, girl. But at the core of it all, as seen in her Victoria's Secret collab, her message is clear. We all deserve to live a life built on confidence and self-love.
Valentine's Day may be about love, but it also includes loving yourself. Kisses.
Hulu's new series, How I Met Your Father, a spin-off of CBS's popular show, How I Met Your Mother, recently dropped its first 5 episodes. And it's bringing some much-needed representation to screen. While the original series was criticized for its lack of diversity, the sequel series aims to correct that mistake with a vibrant new cast of characters, including Ellen, portrayed by Tran, a recently divorced Asian American lesbian.
I just had the best night of my life.
Somebody get lucky at Club FOMO?
No.
Tran, a stand-up and writer who recently worked on the queer Showtime masterpiece, Work in Progress, recently spoke with the Gay Times about the impact of playing this character and the importance of normalizing characters like Ellen.
There is no coming out trauma. There's no question of acceptance. There's not even a hint of teachable moments in this show. It's just, this is Ellen, this is her friend group. They love her, she loves them, and she is dealing with the same exact issues that they're all dealing with. I really am so excited to get to play a queer character who is goofy as hell.
And Tran recently spoke to NBC News about the changing landscape of representation on screen, saying, "There's just so much more freedom and creativity. It's exciting to be in a time where there are now so many different characters that are queer and Asian that people can relate to." And beyond the importance of representation, Tran hopes viewers can really understand the heart of the show. She says, "The biggest takeaway that I hope people take from the show is that it's important to cultivate and rely on your chosen family, spoken like a true queer." You can catch Tien and the rest of the gang on How I Met Your Father, streaming right now only on Hulu.
This week I got to sit down with the hilarious Alec Mapa to talk about his role in the hit movie A Very Sordid Wedding for Revry's 10 Days of Valentine's, brought to you by McDonald's. Let's take a look.
I'm your new boss, the one who had no say in hiring you, but can sure as fire you. So, come up with a new act, or you can hang up your tired, tattered heels.
Apologize to the lady.
Who are you? What are you doing in here?
Fuck you.
Excuse me? Who the hell do you think you're talking to?
I'm talking to you, bitch. Now apologize to the lady or you have me to fucking deal with.
All right, you have 10 seconds to leave this bar before I call the police to have your dumb, redneck, white trash ass arrested.
All right, then.
Oh!
We're so excited to have you with A Very Sordid Wedding. Tell us more about this movie.
Oh, it's so much fun. Well, it's Del Shores, and he's continuing the stories he began for Sordid Lives. And he takes all of those characters and he puts them together for a situation where there is a same-sex wedding in Texas, in a very conservative area. And the thing is about Del and the actors that he chooses, he never has to encourage them to be interesting or engaging. The minute they open their mouths or they show up, you're in it. 300%. I mean, we're talking people like, you know, Bonnie Bedelia and Leslie Jordan. I mean, it's pretty great. And Whoopi Goldberg is in this, and yeah, no, it's an amazing cast, and I'm still astonished to this day that I was asked to be a part of it.
Right, because this is a while back, so this is almost like a throwback.
Right. And when you think of, you know, Texas rednecks, you don't think of or Southern Baptist sissies. You don't necessarily think of Alec Mapa, America's Gaysian sweetheart.
So why don't you just sail on back to Singapore?
I'm Filipino, born in Cleveland.
Why is A Very Sordid Wedding a good Valentine's Day movie?
Well, of course, there's a wedding in it.
That doesn't always lead to love.
It doesn't always lead to love, but there's something so eternally optimistic about a wedding. You know, it's kind of, there's so much cynicism in the world, and there's so much kind of, you know, jadedness, especially within the gay community. I think that we, you know, as a people kind of adopt a sense of cynicism, which is just our way of protecting ourselves from being hurt, you know, because we've been so heartbroken, either but through our own fault or somebody else's. But the wedding, two people coming together and saying, I want to be with you, I want to be with you, your best and your worst, and I'm going to stick by you no matter what. That's what better way to celebrate Valentine's Day.
Is there anything else you want to say about like the movie, or like what you have coming up and what you're doing, what you're up to?
It's amazing that everything's streaming now. We have Sorted Lives certainly coming up now, but everything I've done in the past 5 years, including the pandemic, is all streaming on a screen near you on Amazon. I have Queen Bees starring Ellen Burstyn and Anne Margaret and Jean Curtin and me, which was an amazing experience. I have Granddaddy Daycare with Danny Trejo on Amazon. On HBO, you can see me on The Doom Patrol Season 1. I play Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man, a very klutzy supervillain.
That's
everything
great.
else. I'm on everything else. Just Google me. Netflix has Ugly Betty, so you can watch me there too.
You're a streaming queen.
I'm the stream queen.
He is just great. And thank you again, Alec, for taking the time to chat with me today. And remember to check out A Very Sordid Wedding as part of Revry's 10 Days of Valentine's, brought to you by McDonald's.
And now it's time to take a look at all the LGBTQ news happening around the world. First up in the US, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem signed a hateful anti-trans bill, the first of 2022. The bill, which is set to affect July 1st of this year, will mandate that anyone participating on a girls' or women's sports team must have female noted on their birth certificate issued at their time of birth. This effectively bars trans girls from being able to participate in sports teams that correspond to their gender, all under the guise of fairness for cisgendered teammates. This is just the latest state to push forward shameful legislation, joining others like Florida, Texas, and Alabama. But advocacy groups like the Transformation Project are not giving up, saying, "We want every trans person watching to know that we are with you, we see you, and we are here for you." Another bill that has people talking here in the States is one that's coming out of Oklahoma. The proposed bill will make it so teachers would not be allowed to teach anything that contradicts so-called Christian values, meaning that not only talk of LGBTQ individuals would be banned, but also things like evolution and even birth control. Teachers could be fined a minimum of $10,000 per incident, and if the teacher can't pay, they'd lose their job. Seems like a pretty harsh punishment for, I don't know, telling the truth. Yikes, but don't worry, we've got some brighter news ahead. Over in Luxembourg, Cardinal Jean-Claude Hollerich has made a call to overhaul the church's teachings on the LGBTQ community. The Archbishop was quoted saying, "I think it's time we make a fundamental revision of the doctrine. I believe that the sociological scientific foundation of this teaching is no longer true." This comes off the heels of a petition where 125 members of the Catholic Church publicly came out and called for structural changes like job security, which Hollerich has come out in support of. While the LGBTQ's relationship to the Catholic Church has been fraught, news like this continues to be a welcome change.
While we've been covering LGBTQ news, we also wanted to highlight some great shows and movies you can watch streaming right now on Revry. First up, you gotta check out When I'm With You. The drama follows artist Leah Costa as she struggles to connect with her estranged homophobic brother and deals with hidden feelings for her gay best friend, all while trying to unite them all into the family she never had. Trust me, it's gonna hit you in the feels. Next up is Drag Kids, a Canadian documentary that's centered around 4 preteen drag queens as they prepare for the biggest show of their careers, each facing their own unique challenges. Drag Kids has been called, quote, a beautiful, daring, and touching portrait of 4 kids chasing freedom and friendship through the art of drag. Well, there you go. Now you don't have to scroll endlessly because you already know what you want to watch. You're welcome. And remember, you can find these titles and so much more streaming right here on Revry.
Before we wrap up, we're leaving you with some Culture Q moment of inspiration. And this week, we're celebrating the iconic rapper Debrat and her growing family. In an adorable post on Instagram, the Functified singer and her fiance, Jessica Judy Depart, announced that they are expecting, saying, "We are extending the family." Celebs were quick to hop in the comments congratulating them, including WNBA star Ty Young and the legend herself, Missy Elliott, leaving a trail of congratulations and heart emojis. And it was just a few months ago that the couple announced their engagement in an episode of their WeTV reality show, Brat Loves Judy. During a Coming to America themed surprise party, Depart also popped the question, leaving Debrat almost too stunned to speak.
I was so shocked that I couldn't
that
talk.
She didn't even say yes.
I wanted to say yes.
She didn't even.
My
she
heart,
didn't even
soul, my
she
mind,
didn't even answer.
and my body. I said yes. It just didn't come out.
And their wedding is right around the corner. Announcing their save the date in a social media post, the happy couple will be tying the knot on 2/22/22, which is now just a couple weeks away. Congratulations, you two. That is so adorable.
Yes, definitely goals.
Absolutely. And with that, we leave you with today's show. It's Lalwani signing off.
And I'm Shira Lazar. Thank you so much again for hanging out with us.
And be sure to catch Culture Q each Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, live and always on demand, right here on Revry.